Greetings everyone, and welcome to my parlor, the parlor of the Outlook on Emotional Exchanges. And this is for the week Friday the 26th, and it goes to June 1st or so, next week, June 2nd maybe. Alright, so at the Emotional Exchanges we do a reading for the elemental signs of the zodiac, the fire, water, air, and earth signs, and we try to show them what are the emotional currents running around them, why it may be important, and where is it leading to. So I'm using the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany, a beautiful deck, and I'm going to do that for each of the zodiac signs. So we start off with the air signs. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What emotional energy or thing is coming to the air signs? And it may be a good card here. It's the Hermit. It's reversed, and the Hermit reversed maybe is talking about people who are maybe coming back out from isolation or seclusion. So maybe for people who, from an emotional point of view, have not been active with friendships or relationships, maybe they're coming out. So this could be signifying the idea that, you know, people are responding to spring, summer, etc., and feeling like it's time to get back into the real world, that maybe things that they've been holding in, you know, not able to share, maybe now is the time really to fully share that. So why is this important? And it's the Sun reversed. And the Sun reversed, I'm told, is never a negative card, never totally negative. So I'd like to leave us with the idea that it's important because maybe we are trying to, like the Sun here, regain strength, regain our full glory. It may be that air signs have been feeling really disconnected and not actually in tune, perhaps, with other signs amongst themselves even. And so this is important to be moving out of our seclusion era and maybe more into the light. It may be a work in progress. The Sun also suggests that we're finding out things and that maybe we are warming towards new relationships. So maybe it's only possible because we have been able to kind of project ourselves outward. So finally, where does this ultimately lead to? And it's the Ten of Wands reversed. I love it when I get all those reverse cards, but the Ten of Wands reversed is actually not such a bad card for being reversed. It indicates that maybe from that emotional point of view, things that may have been burdening us will be released. Somehow we are finding ways to kind of shift burdens away. So in a practical example could just be that maybe we have some relationships that are hard to deal with. Maybe they're problematic and they're not necessarily close ones, but maybe somehow these things shift because of various reasons. Maybe people just move on and feel if they're emotionally not getting what they want from you, maybe they just decide to move somewhere else. There's any number of other possibilities there, but we'll just leave it at that. And we're going to tie it up now for the air signs by giving them their very own affirmation for this week, the air affirmation. And I use the Universal Love Oracle set by Tony Carmine Salerno. So let's just relax for a moment, and I'm going to give us that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful affirmation for the air signs. Here it comes. And of course, relationship, how appropriate, since we are talking about, you know, the possibility of returning to a more active life with relationships or the such. So let's see what that affirmation could be for us then. Relationship. Are you struggling to find a truly loving and meaningful relationship? If so, then look at the relationship you have with yourself. Our external relationships simply mirror the relationship we have with ourselves. What is lacking in your relationship with others is often lacking in your relationship with you. Learn to truly love yourself. This is vital if you are to give true meaning to your life. Be loving and honest with yourself, and watch your relationship with others transform. And I like that because I kind of hit on that right away, that something about this week for the air signs suggests that they really want to work on relationships. Maybe it's just been a long time, maybe things were out of sort. Mercury has barely gone direct again. It's still maybe working through its shadow side here. So I think this is all good advice. Look at yourself to determine what you should be doing in terms of your relationships. Treat others as you wish to treat yourself. All right. So now we are going to move on to the fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire signs, what is coming towards you? Oh, it's the devil. Fire signs, you may be moving into or feeling a vibe is coming towards you that maybe is a little reckless. It may be a little bit codependent even. It may find that maybe some of our relationships feel that there's, I won't say there's a taint, but there's sort of like pressure of some sort. Pressure to maybe conform in a different kind of way to a different standard. It's not like, the Pope's conformity. It may be conforming to some darker issues in yourself, and maybe feelings of overly drawn to somebody and yet not able to really appreciate how to get there. Why is this important? It's the Eight of Cups. Well, maybe you are going to get there, because I don't know. The Eight of Cups is saying that, somebody is moving beyond their usual confines and maybe moving towards a better picture. And if I want to combine that with the devil, then I think what it's saying really is that, well, combined with the first card really also talks about a pressure to maybe free yourself from something. Maybe it's an obsession too of some sort. Maybe it's emotions that are hot for you to handle. And so the second card says this is important that you identify these things, because you are working on challenging those ideas, those things that are obsessive to you or maybe feel ruinous in certain ways, and you want to move towards something better. So then finally, where does that lead to? And it leads to the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles says you're going to find a way to, rather than restrict yourself and how you exert yourself in the outward world, to maybe really trying to give more. That rather than holding back certain things, being obsessed, allowing some dependencies to define you, you are moving towards finding where this process leads you to is really understanding that there's a healthy way to really be introverted and to maybe work on defining what's important to you in terms of foundation. The Four of Pentacles can really talk about certain materialistic manners. And when I'm putting it together with these cards, I think there's a lot going on here for the fire signs, and they may be vacillating a bit between unleashing and burrowing in. I think it's time we take a look at the fire affirmation and see how that might be helpful to us this week. And once again, I'm using Tony Carmine Salerno's Universal Love deck. Well, I wonder how this is going to work out, but maybe there was something here I wasn't quite getting or not sure about. It says golden memories, golden memories. Hot ones too, maybe, I don't know. The golden memory, someone is thinking fondly of you. Remembering a golden memory from time gone by. Know that love and friendship live forever within our hearts. Neither time nor distance can ever erase a beautiful memory, not even our passing from this world. And so as an affirmation to kind of help us with the reading, it maybe is suggesting that this memory really is what inspires the idea of creating something here that's maybe different from the constriction of a codependent relationship, the memory of having done better. I'm going to leave it at that. And so maybe, of course, you know, this could indicate that there's a chance that you will reapproach that level of a relationship. Not necessarily the old one, but maybe within a new one. So now we're going to move on to the water signs. And water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. They tend to be pretty emotional all on their own. So in this reading, focusing on their emotional lives could show us some interesting waves washing over them. What, why, and where? What is coming? Why is it important? And where will it lead to? Water signs. So here's the Three of Wands. What's coming to you, I think, is the feeling that you are not really ready yet for certain plans, especially if they're the emotional ones, that maybe you thought you were moving into new relationships or a new situation that had some emotional energies. But I think you're feeling you're not ready to do this yet. There may be certain other plans you would rather work on instead, or there may be some other business to conclude, or perhaps you're just feeling that right now is not the moment for expanding the emotional part of your life in this direction. Why is that important? Well, it's the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is reversed in this one. It's kind of interesting, 3 then 4. So the Four of Wands reversed in this context. Why is it important? I'm just going to say maybe there's something right closer at home that you need to focus on, that maybe rather than expanding outward, there's something in the home that emotionally is important for you. It's probably a project that brings great joy to you to some degree. I don't necessarily feel it's about a relationship of love, but you know, we could love our home, our work, and so maybe when I tie these in, maybe this is feeling like spring fever's here, and what you really want to do is really work on other things than maybe the typical, that are maybe more associated with where you live, kind of shoring up the beauty of your home or the emotional relationship you have with your home. Where does this lead to? And it's the Knight of Cups reversed. I wonder if you're getting ready to weather some emotional harder times in a way here. You know, it almost has a feeling like there's something that you feel is coming that maybe is going to kind of a little bit mar or impact on some of the emotional situations around you. Could it be that maybe somebody is coming to live with you who maybe will put a crimp in that? So an example would be that maybe you have to take in a child or a parent or somebody else and attend to their needs. The Four of Wands there. You know, I'm getting a picture a little bit that this is like maybe for the water signs, they have to move their attentions, emotionally speaking, to other issues, possibly other than relationships. They may have to work on actual home life. And so if this isn't that example of, you know, caring for somebody else, bringing them into your home to care for you, maybe it's already there. Maybe there are just issues in your home, the people you live with, that you really need to focus on, or you're going to have more problems. It's time to do a little bit of work here, water signs. And you know what I think about this? I know exactly what it's about, I think. So we're going to top it off now with our affirmation for the water signs from Universal Love Deck. And the lucky card is Retreat. Retreat. The angel in this image is asking that you retreat. Have you been trying too hard to make something happen? Dang. Remember, when something you strive for feels constantly out of reach or you are faced with obstacles, it does not necessarily mean that you are on the wrong path. Setbacks are often here to help us. Maybe you could change your emphasis or approach. Maybe it's simply a question of timing. Clear your mind. Forget about the issues at hand for a while. Know that in retreat, you will find the answer, and that all happens with divine timing. And I like this. I think it really did kind of nail what's going on here, that there are issues or things that are away from your more public or social life. They still may involve people and relationships, but you need to pull back from some of the outer stuff so you can focus on these things that are closer to you in home or spirit in a certain way. So it looks like, water signs, you definitely have some work to do here. And now we move on to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. There are solid and steady ones, possibly harder to read emotionally, possibly harder to move emotionally. Is that really true? We're going to find out right here in just a minute. So earth signs, what is coming to you in the emotions? What tingles are you feeling or will be? It's the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And earth signs, and that's an earth sign card, you do have to work on some relationships. There's work that involves your partners or the people around you. If it's not a primary relationship, it's still talking about living situations where you interact with people and people have differing value for you or differing interaction with you. The vibration is saying this is a time now where maybe you need to see how that's all working out, that there may be some things that are not working as smoothly, and that's what's coming to you, this idea that some of the relationships or situations in your life are looking like they need some work. Well, that in itself is why it's important. But the card of importance is our Ten of Swords reversed. And it's important because you're going to save a relationship. You know, it says divorce certificate here. And of course, I'm not necessarily saying this is about that, but the Ten of Swords reversed says situations flop and what may have been ending finds a way to live again. And so it's important that you consider what's not working right now or what the problems are, where the teamwork is, because you are saving a relationship. You are saving a relationship. It may not be a primary one, but it may certainly be a very important one. Where does this lead to? It's the High Priestess. And I think where it leads to is the fact that it moves to a level of peace and understanding, of diving in deep and understanding where value really is and where love really is. And I think I would have to say that it's 2, Major Arcana 2, so it is a symbol of duality all on its own. It is the idea about figuring out how to bring things together, which we saw there. So let's wrap this up then with the Earth affirmation. One last time from the Universal Love by Tony Carmine Salerno. This one I'm going to pull randomly. Enchantment. Enchantment. In choosing this card, your higher self is reminding you that life is full of enchantment. Stop and notice the beauty that surrounds you. Gaze at the stars at night. Feel the breeze caress you. Absorb the colors and vibration of nature. Smell the flowers. The universe is an enchanting and inspiring place. Stop for a moment and take note of its beauty. And I just want to give us one last look there. I'd like enchantment to kind of pull through and circle around back to the beginning. The idea that we need to find what enchants us in order to feel love and good feelings in our lives. Everyone, we need to feel that the earth and our lives are beautiful and full of charm. So that's it for the emotional exchanges this week. Thank you for watching. And I hope I will see you next week. But in the meantime, check out the happy hour tomorrow at 10 a.m. Happy hour on our YouTube channel. It's a live stream reading. We're also back live stream reading on Sunday afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. Earlier on Sunday is Banshee's Material Matters, which is on at 10 a.m. And then our week starts over again. So see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.